Hello, worship team. I hope you guys are doing well today. Let me get my mic situated here. Didn't get everything in line before I went live, so sorry. Well, I hope you guys are doing well today. This is your update video from Monday, July 26th, 2021. What a great week we've had this past week, and a great weekend this past weekend. I want to thank all of you who served to help out with VBS and fuel. Just a lot of energy this past week, and I think there was some really important work done in the lives of our next generation, both our kids and our students. So I want to thank you for that. I know that a lot of you helped behind the scenes on the tech side of things, making sure that stages were set up and equipment was transferred and patching and all of that stuff, and I really appreciate that. And then I know that there were a bunch of you who were involved in other aspects, from teaching classes to leading music during VBS and to even playing with the band up in the student area for fuel. So all that I can say with that is thank you. And just know that this was a valuable contribution, not only to the life of the church, but more importantly to the lives of every single individual student that you were able to impact this past week. It's cliche, but there is truth to the fact that it takes a long time. It takes a number of years for relational seeds to start to grow, and there is an abundance and a harvest that will grow out of this past week that I think that we'll see for many years to come. So again, I know I've said it a few times here, but thank you. I appreciate that. All right, well, I've got 3 things that I want to go through with you today. I say 3 things. Underneath each of these 3 things is nested a bunch of different categories. But let's take these kind of one at a time and walk through methodically what's going to happen here. The very first thing that I want to put on your radar is not this week, but next week is kind of the window that opens up for you to submit blockout dates for September and October. I've started kind of promoting this early, just so you're starting to think about that and think towards September and October. It's hard to believe that the fall is upon us, but schools will be starting back up soon. And as we go into that, there are a few logistical things that we need to do within our team to make sure that we can continue to function effectively going into the fall. One of those things is putting in blockout dates. Now, most of you have been with the team for a while, and you understand the process. Some of you are brand new, which is very exciting, and just am thrilled that you've plugged in and are getting even more deeply connected to the team. But that means you may not know the whole blockout date procedure and process. So I want to talk just a moment about the actual concrete functions that you have to do to submit blockout dates. And to preface that by saying blockout dates are kind of the lifeblood of the operations of the team. If we don't communicate well with each other as far as what our schedules are, that makes scheduling really difficult. This morning, actually, I was in Planning Center digging around, and I've noticed that they've started putting little notifications about blockout dates and responding to pending requests. They've started putting little blurbs throughout the app about the importance of that. So it's a universal thing. Every church, every team, every worship team everywhere deals with blockout dates and communicating schedules. It's a universal thing. And nonetheless with this team. So make sure, put those blockout dates in. As I've said in the past, my expectation is that whenever we send out, because we are so methodical about how we schedule, we have you put in blockout dates. We then immediately have your team leaders put together your schedules and send out requests. Because of that, my expectation is that requests are responded to within a 48-hour period. That allows us, if there are any declines, we can immediately reach back out to the team before everyone's schedule fills up and we can shift things around and move things around as we need to. In an ideal world, if we're all putting in blockout dates, there should never be a need to decline, but I understand things come up. The other thing is I also understand that there are certain things that you have really not a lot of control over with your schedule. And maybe there's a time where you need more than 48 hours to respond. That's totally fine. In fact, if that situation arises, just reach out to me. You can respond to your scheduling requests. You can reach out to me via text. You can have a conversation with me in person. That's okay. The most important thing is that we communicate. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. Yeah. Organizations, relationships, everything hinges on communication. So please do make sure you are keeping your blockout dates up to date. You are responding quickly and accurately to your availability as well. So now let's hop over to Planning Center. And actually, I'm going to jump first here onto the desktop app. Probably at this point, probably not many of you use the desktop app, but just in case you do, let me show you how to put in your blockout dates. I'm already here on within a plan, but if you were to just go to the Planning Center main page here, usually what pops up first is the plan section. All you got to do is come up here to where it says My Schedule and click on My Schedule. And over here, you see that there's a section here where you can put in blockout dates. So if you hit Add Blockout Dates, you can choose, when you're going to be gone. Let's say you're going to be out the second full week of December. Well, you can put this in as a blockout date. And actually, let me pull this out here. So you can click on your first start date. If it's just one day, that's okay. You can keep it as the end date. But let's say that you're going to be out for a week. So we'll do the 13th through the 21st. And you could say, for your reason, you could say out of town. You could say traveling for the holidays, something like that. And then whenever you hit Save One Blockout, then you'll see it come up on your list of blockout dates here. Now, say you need to adjust this. Maybe you put this in and the traveling for the holidays has changed and it's going to be a week sooner or a week later. Not a problem. All you got to do is just click there and hit Delete Blockout. And there you go. You're now updated in Planning Center. It's as simple as that. Blockouts, like I always say, they take about 30 seconds to put in, and it's a pretty quick affair for sure. Now, as I've said, I know a lot of you are on the mobile app, so take a moment here. I recorded a short video earlier, and take a moment and watch this. You can see the same steps if you're using the mobile app. On the Planning Center online mobile app, what you'll want to do is open up Planning Center on your device. I have an iPhone here, but you could also do this on an iPad or any Android device that you're using. Open up the Planning Center app. It should default open to plans. All you have to do is on the bottom left-hand corner, hit Schedule. You'll see there toward the top on the left side, it says Add Blockout. All you have to do is tap that. Here's also a feature. If you are set up as a household, you and your spouse, say you guys are going to be out together, all you have to do is tap their name, and you see how Kelsey highlighted there. You can add a blockout date for both of you. If you and your spouse are both in Planning Center, and if you'd like to use that feature, all you have to do is reach out to me, and I'd be happy to set that up for you. But for now, I'll turn that off. First thing you do is go to the start date of your blockout date. Let's say I'm going to be out the first week of November. So what I'd want to do is go to November. I believe the 1st this year is on a Monday. And so all I'd have to do is put in November 1st. and I'd want that to end maybe the next weekend, so I'll put it through November 7th or November 8th, whatever makes sense. And then come down here, you can put a reason, that's your frequency. Let's say you're out the first Sunday of every month. You can set up a frequency there, but for most of the time, blockout dates are just one-offs. And then your reason, all you have to do is tap down here, and you can say out of town, you can say on vacation. For those of you who serve elsewhere and you want to block out those dates, you could say, serving on the security team, or serving with the student ministry, or missions meeting, however that makes sense. And then if you press the check mark there, you'll see under your blockout dates now, you have all of your dates in there. And should you ever need to adjust one of those, you can just tap on the blockout date, and I'm going to delete this one. You can just hit blockout. Yeah, so should be pretty simple and straightforward there. If you have any questions about that, do feel free to reach back out to me. The second thing that I want to discuss today is our fall events that we have coming up. I've mentioned some of these in the last few weeks, but I want to put them back on your radar. The first thing is the adult and children's choirs, which are going to start rehearsals on Wednesday, September 8th. Outdoor service, which is coming up on September 12th. This will be one service at 10 a.m. And the plan right now is actually to have some food trucks on site afterwards to be able to fellowship together and have some lunch together. So that's going to be pretty fun and unique. Third thing is an audition night that we're going to do on Thursday, October 21st. We'll be asking some of you to help out with this, but the goal is to have auditions for the band and to do some tech auditions that night, and really just open it up as an opportunity for anyone who's interested in getting them plugged into the worship team to have an opportunity to plug in. One of the things that we're probably going to do for promo is a month leading up to this is to set up a booth in the lobby and hand out donuts on Sunday morning. And just use that as an opportunity to serve people and to give them information about the audition night that's coming up. And then the final thing that I want to make sure is on your radar, even though it's not the only, this is not a comprehensive list, especially around Christmas, but it's still an important date nonetheless, is the Christmas Decor Setup Night, the annual event that we do every year around Christmas to get the church ready to go for the holiday season. That'll be on Friday, November 19th this year at 5 o'clock p.m. It's always a great night. It's a big night. It takes a lot of work and a lot of energy to get everything going, but it always makes the church look great and feel extra festive during the holiday season. Well, the final thing I want to talk to you about today is the set for this coming weekend. I want to make sure that that's on your radar. And then once I walk through that, if you're not playing this weekend, you can hop off. If you are playing, I'm going to give you a few more details that'll be important for you to know so that you can plan and rehearse for Sunday morning. So, starting at the top of the hour, we will kick off with announcement slides, 5-minute countdown. This will actually probably become a 10-minute countdown, and we'll do the song I Thank God pre-service. This is a brand new song that we did this week during Fuel. It's by Maverick City. Really great song, but it is all of 130 beats per minute, the quarter note at 130. So put some attention on that. You're going to need some endurance for that one. Welcome and greeting at the top, and then may the people's praise, O come to the altar, and King of my heart. Into the message. We're still in Meals with the Master, so we'll use the Meals with the Master bumper video. And then this new song that we introduced at the May 23rd worship night in the lobby, it's called Christ Our Hope in Life and Death. We'll do that as an invitation reflection song, and then we'll also have it here as a reprise of the last two choruses as the walkout for this weekend. Well, I hope that is helpful information to all of you. If you're not serving this weekend, you can go ahead and hop off. If you are, hang out for just a few more minutes, and I'll have some additional details for you to check out there. Those of you who are leaving, have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Okay, everybody else, I want to go ahead and walk through some details, like I said, for this coming weekend, starting with the song I Thank God. Now, this click, or the rehearsal track, you'll see the rehearsal track in Planning Center. All you got to do is log in and open it up. You'll find it there ready to go for you. Have a listen to it, and have a listen to the original performance too. That's going to be important. I want to pull up the chord chart here because there's one thing that is worth noting. Let me pull it over here for you all to see. There is, you'll see that there's a bridge 1, a bridge 2, and a bridge 3 section. Within the chord chart, how this is listed, you'll see you've got the first line here. Now the lyrics are the same every time. Hell lost another one. I am free, I am free, I am free. Those lyrics are the same every time. At the end of the line, you'll see a 4 times here. Okay, so every time bridge 1 is called, you will sing the same lyrics, and you'll just be on the tonic. You'll just be on the E chord right there. Okay, now bridge 2 is going to be the second line. You'll hear bridge 2 called 2 times, and so now you'll go to the 5 chord, the 6 chord, the 4 chord, and then the 1 chord. Okay, or B sus, C sharp minor 7, A2, and E. That is bridge 2. So bridge 1 is line 1, bridge 2 is line 2. Bridge 3 is then the rest of the bridge section. So it's technically like 2 more times to the bridge, but it's one long progression through there. E chord down to B sus, C sharp minor 7 to the A2 chord, or the 5 chord to the 6 chord to the 4 chord. And then after that, you're back into the chorus right here. Okay, now your turnaround is, I'll say this, your turnaround and your outro, this is kind of that main motive that you're going to hear. It sounds kind of like this. Dun, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Dun. Okay, so that's kind of the main figure that you're going to hear in that section. That's similar to how the intro. That's essentially how the intro goes as well. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Now at the end of the song, so you go through everything. You've got your verses, your choruses. You do this bridge section here. Then you go back into the chorus, and you have your turnaround and outro. On the album recording, they kind of break down there and they build back in, and they reprise some sections. We're actually just going to cut it right after that outro. This is what it'll sound like. Now, this will sound familiar if you're listening to the original recording. You'll see that attached from YouTube there. That'll make sense. But how we're going to end it is, here's the turnaround here at the end.
Turnaround.
Last time here. 4,
Ending.
3, 2, and out. And then we'll just fade right there. Okay, now at that point in the service, we're going welcome and greeting right here. There is a pad, key of E, that'll fade up underneath. Keys can continue to underscore this section. And then Day, since you're running tracks this weekend, I'll put a cue on there. But I just keep this E pad looping right here. And then once you're ready to transition to the key of D, you can hit the fade, and that will actually fade the pad out. And then there's a stop cue there, and that's where that'll stop. Okay? Now, second song, May the People's Praise. Sorry, one other note. I'm just looking at my notes here. One other note for the first song, I Thank God. There are no horn charts for this song, so that will horns. I won't have you guys come out and play or stand even on stage. You all can stay backstage and then come out during the welcome. Just remember, you're on camera now, so walk out with a purpose, and keep all the wonderful personality that you have. You can retain that. Just be judicial about exploiting it whenever you're on camera. So second section here. Let's go to May the Peoples Praise You. This is in the key of D. We normally do this in the key of C, but we're taking it up full step here. Key of D, and the intro is typically on the recording. It's twice as long as what we're going to do for this weekend. So here's what the intro sounds like here.
1, 2, intro. 2, 3, 4. Verse 1.
Yeah, so typically it would be 8 measures. This week, it's only 4 measures. And this is, we've played this a lot, so you guys are going to be familiar with this. Does what it does every single time that we've played it. Here at the end, we'll hit the last note. And as we transition there, we'll be going, staying in the key of D. So there's a pad that'll come up that you can hear there underneath. And then will cue us for O Come to the Altar. Now, with O Come to the Altar, and this, of course, will be a much quicker transition than what I'm doing here, but with O Come to the Altar, we're going to start with the bridge and then go from that into the intro and do it as is written from there. So here's the intro here.
1, 2.
You'll hear a full
bridge.
12 counts.
4,
5,
6.
6. And this is what it'll sound like to go back around to the intro.
1,
Intro.
2.
Here we go.
Intro.
4, 5, 6. There we are to the intro right there. So 1 chord to the 4 chord. 1 to the 4.
Verse 1.
And then we're into the verse there. Yeah, hope that makes sense. It's very straightforward as we've normally done it in the past after that. Okay, end of O Come to the Altar. We'll end it here, and then there will be a pad that fades up into the key of A, which is what we're moving to for King of My Heart. King of My Heart, we have several times in the past done this. We've gone straight into the verse, I should say. There's no intro. We're not going to do that this weekend. There is going to be an intro. Here's what it'll sound
Intro.
like.
2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Verse 1.
Yeah, that should make sense. One thing that I do need to note, you've heard the click track here for O Come to the Altar. Okay, there's the click. Here's the click for King of My Heart.
Intro. 2.
So you hear they're almost the same tempo. This is 72 is quarter note at or I'm sorry, O Come to the Altar is come on. King of My Heart. There it is. King of My Heart is 4/4 quarter note at 72 beats per minute. This is 6/8. O Come to the Altar is 6/8 with the quarter note at 70 BPM. Okay, that means the 8th note is going to be almost the same tempo, except the beat here is divided by 3, the beat here is divided by 2. So practice the end of O Come to the Altar into the beginning of King of My Heart, and practice your brain making that switch from a triple subdivision of the beat to a duple subdivision of the beat, or to a double 8th note subdivision of the beat for King of My Heart. That'll be really important because that is a quick transition there in the service. Okay, and then follow the sequence from there. Follow what's in Planning Center. This song, we've done it many, many times. You know all the different sections of it, so that won't be a problem. When we end here, there's just an A pad that comes up. If you guys decide you want to pray in that section or whatever, then the A pad is there, and then you can hit the button to fade, and then the pad will fade out in that section. Okay, final song. I know we're going a little long today, but final song for this weekend is Christ, Our Hope in Life and Death. with Christ Our Hope in Life and Death, what we want to do is listen to the track that's attached. There are two different versions of this. There is one that is put out by Getty Music, and then there's an arrangement by the Worship Initiative, which is Shane and Shane. Make sure you're listening to the Worship Initiative, Shane and Shane's version. Christ Our Hope in Life and Death. Here it is. I won't play the track. You guys can listen to that in Planning Center. That should make sense. Here at the end is what I want to talk through. So when we do the end, we'll go all the way through the song, and then I'm going to have the track count us back in. And instead of replaying any of these sections, I'm just going to have us go back and forth on changes between an E chord and an A chord in that section. We'll do 2 measures of each back and forth. So since we're in 3/4, be 6 beats of E to 6 beats of A, back and forth until we go into the walkout. So here's what that'll kind of sound like. I'll start here, just a few measures from the end.
Ending.
2, 3, and then you'll
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we can start adding the band back in. Okay, so back and forth between E and A, it'll be simple here for the ending, and then what you'll hear
1, 2,
you'll hear
3.
The chorus.
Chorus. 2,
2,
3.
Okay, so what happens there for the walkout? That's the transition. You know the transition now. What I'm envisioning here for the walkout is that once you're called back in, we'll have one time through the chorus that will be instrumental only. So one time through the chorus that's instrumental only, full band in at that point. When we do the chorus the second time here, that's when the vocals will come in. And you'll actually sing the chorus the second time. So what this is just a reprise of the last 2 times to the chorus in this song. As we did it in the set, we're just doing one chorus instrumental only, and then the second chorus we'll add the vocals back in. And then that's it. Then the set is over, and then you can transition then for the next service. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions at all about that, do feel free to reach out to me. There is a high likelihood that I will not be here this weekend, but if for some reason we still don't have a baby by this next Sunday, I'll be here, and I'll see you guys. Hope you guys have a great end to your week, and look forward to either watching you online or worshiping with you next Sunday morning. Take care, everybody.